You have stumbled upon or perhaps intentionally ended up here at my podcast, Actual Leigh. No matter the path that led you here, I hope that you will hang out and join me for a truly enjoyable conversation. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Actual Leigh. We are here with one of my good friends, RJ. We met on TikTok. It's been a couple of years now, I think. And we've actually met in person because we are on the same area of the planet. Not super close, but close enough that we did get to have dinner once. So that's pretty cool. I think I've not actually met very many people I met on TikTok. But and then you're also just like pretty much like my hugest supporter, like for my content and stuff like that. So just cool. Just always such a positive influence.
I try.
So how are you doing? How was your week?
Things have been pretty I guess stressful and draining at work because they as in, higher ups, like they've asked us to do like additional reports, and it's like we already have have a lot of reports we need to do on top of the documentation we need to do for not just us but like anyone else who takes a look at whatever we're working on, and then because it makes it easier for everyone else, right? And so it's just like, okay, why are we being sent to do so many other things?
Right. And you guys are still understaffed too, right? Like they haven't brought the people in you need to take the pressure off.
And it takes a while to get people trained. We have like someone who used to be, like front desk staff, and then he recently started, like working on like what we're doing in our department. So yeah, it's been a few months. It's been like maybe like 2 or 3 months now. I don't remember. But yeah, aside from that, like 2 people left, and one person is on a leave. I'm not really sure what type of leave. I don't know the details, but they've extended the leave, and I think they're coming back sometime in November, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's been pretty tight.
Yeah, so they're like, you don't have enough support, but do more work. That isn't even really that necessary.
Yeah, it's like we just want to know the numbers. It's like you can look at it very easily. Just go into the charts and see that we're doing a lot of things. Just because you don't see it, this doesn't mean we're not doing it.
Right. That's I used to work at this place that was like a computer consultant, like one of those little tiny ones back in the day when they were a little more common. And the guy that ran it, he made us like a timesheet for us, and it was in 15-minute increments. And then there were like numbers associated with all the different types of responsibilities that people had within the business. And then you had to put the numbers in for, basically every 15 minutes or something. And like, I did so much different stuff. I've never just had a job where I have like a single responsibility. So like I hated doing my timesheets. They were just they're so ADHD unfriendly, and just so he was always, you need to do your timesheets better. There's not enough information. I don't understand why you need to know what we're doing every 15 minutes. Like, is the work getting done? Yes, it is. What else do you need to know, sir?
Very micromanagey.
Exactly. I don't know. I think sometimes people that are in the higher up positions kind of just forget what it's like to have the responsibilities that they're overseeing, and then they just think that they could just add more to it. And
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I just woke up from a nap, which I had texted you about, but like, I always feel a little bit like funny after I take a nap. It's like, I don't know if it's like the sleep hormones or whatever. I'm always a little bit like, hey, how's it going?
Do you ever feel like I don't know if the word is not quite groggy, but I guess kind of like your mind feels fuzzy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
really know how to put it in words, but like I guess fuzzy mind. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like that's why it feels a little bit like I'm a little bit slower. Everything. It's almost like everything I hear is going through like a fuzzy layer of pudding in my brain or something.
Yeah,
It's
it's like mind static or something. I don't know.
yeah. So it's if I don't sleep for a long time, it's not super bad. And my naps are usually pretty short, but it's still always like a little bit weird. Um, but it did help make me feel a lot better because I was like so tired. I was like feeling
Oh
nauseous, you
no.
know? So
Oh yeah, that's not good.
yeah, it's been my sleep has been broken the last couple of nights, just whatever my gut stuff's been
Yikes.
doing worse things. My Amos is over there like giving himself a bath.
Oh, grumpy
Monster.
cat.
So I don't really have any specific questions for you. I'm just kind of like, besides like work, like what, what do you do to
To chill,
self,
to
yeah, to
unwind,
chill and feel like feel like person?
to feel human. Well, I I like to I like to write. I like to draw, but I haven't drawn in a while. Um, I also like to, just chill with friends, chat with them.
Yeah.
Um, I also like, uh, I really like languages, so I've been trying what I can to like practice languages and stuff. Specifically Spanish, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
usually what I do in my downtime.
That's cool. And my housemate's been really into the Duolingo. Um, I guess they like gamified it pretty intensely. And so he's been learning Spanish with that.
Yeah,
And he's like always, you know, on his phone playing it.
I I have many issues with Duolingo, and the only reason why I haven't transitioned from it is because I have yet to find one that, kind of works for me. Even though there are things that I really am not fond of about it, like one being the fact that they let go a bunch of people and then replaced it with AI. That's one of the things that I'm just like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like amongst other things, try to make it very like almost like a social media platform, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
If you're trying to encourage people to practice language, that's not what you do. And then the whole like guilt trippy, I not a fan.
Yeah. Like off putting.
Yeah, it's like, dude misses you. He's just you see him, and he's like crying. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. That
Ugh.
okay, I can see why. Yeah, he's so because he's very susceptible to suggestion like that. So I could totally see that that's why it works on him. That's that's interesting. Yeah, that would put me off. I would like see that and just be like, oh, I'm never using that again. Like,
Oh yeah, I was like very upset about it. I just clear, 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 clear.
yeah, I made the mistake of buying something on Temu. Just like I found the exact same thing that's on Amazon, but it was like a tenth of the price, and I was just like, I need that for my business, and it'll save me money. So I got it, but they're like emailing and all that is so aggressive. I never turned the notifications on the app, so I'm can only guess that that's
Oh
just as
no.
bad. But the
Yeah.
emails are, like at least five a day of like, oh, we forgot to tell you this, or oops, sorry, we missed you, or oh, you have like a special offer, and I just like I create filters for everything, and so I don't see most of those emails anyways. But I was being lazy, so I was actually seeing them, and it was just so irritating. I was like, you have some things that are legitimately like cheaper, so it would be worth it to me to use it, but this is making me not want to give you my money. And then every time you open the app, there's like this whole animation special offer thing that's not real. It even says in little letters, it's everybody gets the best offer. And then in order to get the offer, you have to jump through all these different like hoops that take like 20 minutes or something for you to like. And I've tried a couple times. I've never successfully gotten the discounts that they offer because they make you do stuff like invite people to the app, or you have to play like a game, but then it like pulls you out of the game and I can't figure out how to get back to it. So to me, it just seems like it's a scam, like to get you on there to spend money. And I have decoupled my relationship with it so that I just go on to look for like specific supplies, add it to my wish list. And then when I have enough things on my wish list that are for my business expenses that I would get free shipping at that point, then I make the order and I just ignore everything else. Like, because it's so just,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's,
I have uninstalled the app because I'm just like, this is too much.
yeah, it's just not, I don't, to me, like, I don't understand why that type of approach to sales is even seen as appropriate, you know?
Right?
It's like manipulative and taps into like addiction stuff like gambling. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's just, and anybody's just susceptible to like, oh, it's a good deal. And I'm one of those people, I track prices. So I add things to my wish list and then I watch the price fluctuate. So I see when they're like, oh, well, this would normally be $50, but you can get it for this. And I'm like, it was never $50. Come on, even Pokemon Go does it. And I feel like that should be illegal. Like, you can't,
yeah.
telling us that there's this box with incubators in Pokemon Go, and it's like 7,000 coins. And it's always been 7,000 coins since they come out with it. It's very irritating that it's that much. It's like, I don't know, like I think it's like $40 or something. It's a lot. And now they do this whole like, oh, it's on sale. Normally it would be 20,000 coins, and it shows 20,000 crossed out, and then it's still the same price it's always been. And I'm like, that, that's not cool. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's,
It reminds me of like when clothing stores have supposedly like have their deals or whatever, and it is like marked down from, and then when you peel back the sticker, it actually wasn't even marked down to begin with. It just made it look like it was marked down.
right. Yeah, it's like some of the Amazon Prime deals and then Black Friday deals. If you follow the prices, they inflate the prices coming up to the big sale so that when they discount it, it goes back down to the price that it was before they inflated it.
Yeah, and then
And
you're under the assumption that it was an actual deal, but then you find out later, what?
yeah, exactly. And most Black Friday deals they're not actually good deals. They'll be like a few things, but those are the things that they only have a couple of. Those are the highly like coveted, lots of competition type things, especially back in the day when there was like crazy lines and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, I used to do like, just because I was always on a budget, I'd always plan ahead. And there's some stuff that's like consistently good deal, like Gap jeans, you could get 2 for 1. They didn't change the price. You just got 2 for 1. So it's a good deal. So we used to wait and buy like our jeans, for both me and my son on Black Friday and stuff like that. And
Oh, awesome.
Sears back in the day when they were still around, they would have some amazing deals on like random tool stuff. But it's like
Ooh,
if you don't pay attention, you don't really know what's a good deal and what's not.
yeah, that's true. Yay, hydrate.
Yeah, and I think they bank on that. I think they bank on people just being trusting that it's a good deal or whatever.
Yeah. Marketing strategies are more like
Yeah, exactly. Manipulation strategies. It's yucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
not a fan.
Yeah. That's like, I think that's part of why self-promotion is so hard is because there is that sort of like negative association with it from the perspective of seeing these big companies do it, where it is manipulative and stuff. There's a certain amount of like, even though like I'm promoting what I'm doing in a very honest way, I still feel a little bit like annoying or and it
Yeah.
comes from that association.
And I've had good and bad experiences with people like self-promoting. I I like it when people like share their stuff with me, don't get me wrong, but like I've had people like share their things on multiple platforms that I follow them on already, and then they'll see me on all of those platforms, their
Oh wow.
specific thing. I'm just like, whoa, can we not do that, please?
Right, that's a lot.
Like,
I'm not
I
good at
like your
DMing.
stuff. I like you, but
Yeah. At that
I
point, it
just saw
doesn't.
this thing. You don't need to.
Right. And it feels like they're not paying attention, right? They're not
Yeah.
catering to the people, they're catering to their own needs. And I don't like, people tell me to DM and I will like once or twice and then I start feeling weird about it and then I stop, like it's hard for me, but I can't imagine like if I DM you something, it's because like the other day I DM'd you that one thing, but you specifically were looking for it. But like
Yeah, that's
if I
different.
if I did DM it to you like randomly, I would only send it to you on one platform, like whatever platform the sharing was most important to me. You know, I don't dupe my stuff a lot, but every now and again there will be like one post that I put in multiple places or whatever. Mostly because I think it's cool, and then I want more people see it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like if someone wants me to see something, because I get that the algorithm doesn't always show me my friends' things,
Yeah,
so I get why they share it with me. So that's cool. That's fine. But like if you're sharing it with me on all the platforms, the same videos, it's just like, okay, let me. Can you please like let me get to it instead of like sharing it all the platforms? That'd be
right.
great.
Yeah, and it's like at that point they're probably just sending it to everybody everywhere, kind of thing. I
Yeah,
don't.
or I've noticed that sometimes they'll tag me in it and then they'll also DM it to me, and I'm just like, kind of redundant.
Yeah, I hate that. I don't like. I'm not a fan of being tagged on stuff in that way. Like I don't mind. Like if it's something cute or funny that someone wants to share with me, I don't mind it. But like if it's there's like people I've never had a conversation with that will like tag me on stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, why,
Yeah,
you know, why you do
like,
this?
are you trying to like get fake like interactions or something? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I've just stopped like into like interacting with stuff if I have no curiosity about it. Like, cause I that's why I burned myself out doing the support for support stuff on TikTok. And then Clapper, it was like just just eroded my energy for social media, and I'm still trying to like heal from that. And so I just gave myself
Yeah.
permission to be like, if I'm not, so I have like DMs on TikTok that like I didn't check for a couple weeks. I had over 100 messages, and it's
Ouch.
just videos that people sent me. And it's stuff that either they like that they want to share with me, or stuff that they might think I will like. I'm not sure, but it's not particularly well tailored to me. And I just was like, I'm not watching all that. So, and I just didn't. I just like I cleared the threads, and I felt a little bit bad about it. But it's there's like people who send me stuff like yourself, and you actually put thought into it. Like, hey, I think this is something that she's gonna like, and it shows through what you're sending me, right? Like, and that's different. Like that stuff never like taxes me the same way as people who just send me like 20 different videos in one day, you know.
I've had people who like won't talk to me for extended periods of time and then out of nowhere just send me like videos with no context whatsoever. And some of them I'm just like, huh? Why? Hold on. How come you're saying this to me?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
some of them I get, okay, it's cute, okay, cool. Like it's about animals. You know that I like animals, that's cool. But
yeah,
then some of them I'm just like, context? What?
yeah. And it's sometimes it's a way for someone to say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you," without like the pressure of trying to put a sentence together. But like, and then sometimes it's just I've actually told people who sent me stuff on a regular basis, I'm like, if you're sending me random stuff that you know it's more about like how you feel about it, you need to give me context when you send it to me because otherwise I'm not going to care about it at all. So like if you think it's funny or you thought it was interesting, like let me give me like a personal context so that I know and I have some kind of reason to be interested in what you know what you're sending. So yeah, it's I'll get like bombarded with like ADHD stuff and I'm not like it's just you know, like some memes are funny, but I literally do not need to like eat, sleep, and breathe ADHD like videos on TikTok, you know? Um, so I'll just be like, nope, that's too much. I'm like, I can't do any more ADHD for a week. Um,
I live it. I don't need to be
yeah,
reminded of it.
exactly. Yeah, I don't really consume a lot of content either. So like I I don't really want to put all this time into watching content that like I'm not super interested in. There are people who send me stuff though that I will be like, oh, I got to go look at their message because whatever they sent me is going to be like really good, like always going to be really good. You know, they only send me like two things a month or something, but they're like the things, you know.
Yay.
And I hope that when I send stuff that that's how it is for them because I'm very like particular about what I send and to who. Like it has to be totally tailored where I'm like, I'm pretty sure that this person's gonna enjoy this, you know? Um, so it's yeah, it's there's just such different approaches to that stuff, you know. And some people are like, well, this is our way of spending time together is sending each other memes. And I'm like, but what about the conversation? I want
Right?
that. A conversation with memes sprinkled in. Yay.
Yeah. I had a friend tell me that like before they had a friend who would just send them quotes, like a bunch of quotes that they liked, and wouldn't really like communicate. And she tried to address it with that person, and that person just like took it, just overreacted and took it out very badly. And I was just like, okay, this person's trying to communicate with you, and then you what?
Yeah. I know they like shut down the opportunity to learn about how to communicate with that person.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know it's so hit or miss when you try to communicate with someone and let them know, hey, that's not really working for me. Or, you know, to me, it's a sign of respect if someone takes the time to tell me how they feel about something that I'm doing, you know, um, and it allows me to learn about them and then adapt my behavior so that I can treat them the way that they want to be treated, or be like, you know what, that's we're not compatible. It doesn't work for me, and make an educated decision, right? But some people just go and it get very like hurt
super
or
offended.
threatened by
Yeah,
it. And I'm like, whoa.
it's like you could be as gentle or as respectful as possible, but you definitely can't control how the other person's going to react.
Right. Yeah. I think I maintain a healthy dose of curiosity about stuff. So I don't take things personally in that way. It doesn't mean that I'm not always that sometimes someone will give me feedback. I still feel embarrassed or self-conscious, but it's not that's not what it's about, right? When they're communicating, they're not trying to shame me or make me feel bad. That's my own reaction. So that's like something I keep separate. And if it's appropriate and I need reassurance, then I might navigate to communicate to get that. But it's not, yeah, it is interesting. Like, oh, there's some people it doesn't matter what you do, you can't. There's no navigating it in a functional way with them. They're just gonna be like, oh no, and then you're like, huh.
Yeah. And it sucks because it's like there's so much potential there. You see
Yeah.
it, and then it's like, well, they're not. I guess they're stuck, or they don't see it, or both,
Hmm.
and you can't help them because they don't see that they need help.
Yeah. And they don't have those tools, like they haven't learned yet to
Yeah,
be secure enough in themselves to be able to handle like the feedback of, and whatever. Like it's, yeah, there's definitely like I've definitely had some friendships that I had to, like, they were new friendships, but I had to let them go because I was just like, I have to be able to communicate with you. You know, I can't eggshell walk with you. That's not, I'm pretty accommodating in general, but not, there's like a line that I've learned not to cross anymore for my own comfort.
yeah, definitely. You gotta protect your mental health and mental peace. Sure.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with that with an ex. For some reason, I just have interactions there that agitate me way more than anywhere else.
Huh.
And it's kind of like, because I do have a brand, I'm not just like a person socializing. I do have like things that I'm trying to promote. I It's like I don't want to like alienate every single person that communicates with me in a way that makes me uncomfortable. But then at the same time, I'm also having to tolerate bad touch. Cause to me, like, it's when you talk to somebody, you're touching their brain. So it's touching, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I still haven't quite, like, recently what I've started doing is if I know that I'm going to say something that people are prone to saying things that I find problematic, I remove the option to comment, um, so that I can say it and then not deal with that. But that, it's also frustrating to have to do that because it would be nice. Cause like I like to relate, if somebody shares something that they're frustrated, I will relate and let them know that I hear them through that. And that's what I'm looking for, is to have a conversation when I share things. And then when I turn off commenting, I'm taking away that. But the problem is people on X, like they're so, like, generally speaking, at least the people that are following me are so very prone to the social scripts that that I'm not fond of. Um, so if I say
Yeah.
that I haven't been feeling well, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and it's over and over and over again. And I'm like, "Dude, I got people on Facebook to stop doing this. How come like I just cannot, or unsolicited advice? That's toxic positivity, all of those, they're very like people just knee
Ugh.
jerk to that. And I don't know if it's like the format of X with the short, you can't use a lot of words. So then people just go for simple or what it is, but it's super bad there.
It definitely could be. That makes sense, honestly. Because it would require more thought to like write it or express yourself in such a way with limited, you know,
Yeah. It
wordage.
is tricky, like trying to fit your thoughts into however many characters it is now. Um, Sometimes I don't respond to things because I can't get my brain into that small space.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have to like not write complete sentences. I've noticed that I'm just like, ugh, I wish I could read complete.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yep. Yeah. But I mean, even back in the day when Twitter first started, it was way less characters. It was like a
Oh yeah,
sentence. And,
Yeah.
and I remember that I used to just be like, oh, I'm just doing this. I'm eating lunch. And that was it. Like that was what you could put. So it's a lot more now, but still, I don't know. Have you tried Blue Sky?
Not yet. Have you?
Yeah, I made an account last year and it was very quiet. So I just kind of stopped and then people are going back to it now because of the block thing on X. So I was like, well, I'll try it again. And it's still pretty quiet. But I think part of that is just because it's the same people on X. And so there's that familiarity. Um, but it is a little more active in the sense of like getting likes and stuff like that. But and it does have more. You can do more characters in your posts and stuff like that. And the thing I like is the feed is like time based instead of an algorithm,
Ooh.
right? So you can actually
Maybe I
see
can
stuff
join.
and see where you left off. And yeah, like it used to be. So that I like, but I don't like duplicating. So like that's the more apps I'm on, the more I need to think about like posting different things at different places. Um, and I've been trying to like give myself permission to like post some, not all of the same stuff on Blue Sky. Um, so that it doesn't feel like as much work or whatever.
Yeah, because you don't want to burn yourself out
Mm-hmm.
or burn yourself out further. Because I think you said you're still recovering, right?
Yeah, it's mostly on the video ones, but yeah. I've been working on that new project with my clown photos. Um
Ooh.
and I'm trying to decide where all I'm going to post them because I think they're a lot of fun. Um so I because normally I like my clown photos I post different ones on X from Instagram. But I'm thinking I might dupe them there just because I have completely different followers base on both. Like there's only like a handful of people that are on Instagram that are also on X that follow me. So I think I can dupe there without feeling too bad about it.
Ooh, I just got a random idea. I don't know if you'd be interested in it though. Do you want to hear
Yeah. I'm like, there's only one way to find out. Dish.
it? Okay, so you're into horror films, right? And stuff a little bit
Yeah, sometimes.
sometimes. Okay. Um, what if you made like silly versions of their movie posters or whatever?
Like like clown versions or something
Yeah,
or
yeah,
yeah.
like a
Like
silly,
just
goofy version, just for fun. I don't know, or with
yeah,
puppets.
just Photoshop my face, my clown face into
That
the
would
into the
be
different.
funny.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
yeah. The clowns. I don't know. It's definitely like I have to see like if I had the attention span for the editing or not, because that can be like really like because I get really perfectionist about things. Some of the tools are a lot better than they used to be though. Like I used to use I used CorelDRAW and Photoshop like back in like Windows 3.11. And when you were like drawing around something to like cut it out from the rest of it was like, it took
Oh
so
wow.
long,
Uh-huh.
and now you can be like remove background and it looks at it and does a pretty good job of getting
Yeah,
it
it
and
used to be very
stuff.
hard to make it look good like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I had a wedding that I shot and the environment was not like was just oh my goodness, it was like doorways and lighting. It was just so the editing of the photos was so much work, and
Oh
I did
geez.
stuff like I went and like removed doorways from behind the bride, and like everybody in the family wore glasses, and I had to the
Oh
lighting was
wow.
so bad in the area where they were, and the ceilings were really low, so when I bounced the flash all their eyes were like you couldn't see them because of the flash. So then I had to go find a photo where you could see their eyes and Photoshop their eyes into
Oh man,
And it
that's a
was,
lot of work.
yeah, it was so much work that I haven't really, like, all the weddings I've done since then, I just gave them the photos and I didn't edit them. I just like, I'm not doing that again because I only shoot weddings for friends and stuff, so it's always like free, you know. It's just like my wedding gift to them. I'm pretty sure it's the main reason why I got invited to weddings. Like, I don't think I would,
What?
I think for the most part, I wouldn't be invited to weddings otherwise. There's a couple exceptions to that where I was invited and they were specifically like, it's not to take photos. But I had one person ask me if I could shoot their wedding, and then they never like really followed up with any details, but they also didn't invite me to the wedding because I was
That's
interested.
awkward.
I put that was like right after I sold my house, so I went and was like, well, I don't have a camera, but I can get one because I've been wanting to get one, and I had put money aside for my house. So then I went and bought the camera and got all the stuff, and then like nothing. Like, and I was like,
Ugh,
that's weird. Okay.
yeah.
That's all right. Less work for me. But I
It
do want
still
to
would
get
have been
out
nice to
and,
know,
right.
like, oh, I don't need your services anymore or whatever, something.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, like, they asked, like, we're like friends, and then, but they didn't really acknowledge or anything or be like, oh, it's just going to be a few people or, so it was a little bit awkward. I was just like, that's happened a few times so it, but yeah, I mean, I when I go to weddings, even if I'm just a guest, I still take photos. I'm good about staying out of the way of the photographer, and then I just take really candid photos. And then because I get bored, and the photos help me relax and have more fun than I would have if I was just sitting there watching people,
Yeah,
So yeah,
here, I would invite you to my wedding if I had one.
I
Anyone
would,
beats me,
yeah,
photographer.
yeah. I know,
And
like,
if it was to be photographer, I would figure out how to pay
yeah,
you. Not,
just
oh, can you do this as a friend's discount?
yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I wish I had learned my value at a younger age because now I definitely would not like. I might like go take the photos for free, but I would be like, if you want me to edit them or do any of the stuff that takes like a lot of time, at that point, I would need like compensation. But
Because it's a lot of work, but and I don't think people give it much thought, or people who have never done it really realize that because they're like, oh well, anyone can take photos. It's like, okay, if you're gonna think like that, okay, yeah, go. You go and you try it.
right. Yeah, and it's plus there's like a lot of photographers that are not particularly good. They don't do a lot of good editing, and because they rely on the people who don't have like good eyes, who don't know the difference, and those people will charge like a fair amount of money. And it seems like it's not that much work, but for people who actually care about the details, it is a lot of work. Like, I mean, I don't even know like how much time I put into that one wedding where I did all the editing, but it was a lot.
It was back when the tools weren't that great either.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I don't remember like Photoshop 5 or 6. It's like forever ago. So
And
yeah, I need to like learn how to, like, they did a pretty good job of keeping Photoshop pretty similar over the years. So it's pretty familiar, but they've just added stuff. And it's like, I need to learn that. Like, I've been thinking like when I'm feeling a little better, taking some classes online to remember how to, and sort of like get reintroduced to the software. Some of it like Illustrator, I went into it and it's just like I'm was just using it again because I used to use Illustrator a lot. So I'm
oh,
pretty comfortable in that. But Photoshop is, yeah. Plus, it would give me like the structure to do the work, so that like if I took a photography class, it gives me homework. So then I might actually get out and take the photos. Whereas like right now, I'm like, oh, I should use my camera. But I cannot motivate myself to go out and take the photos because like spend the money, So the homework would
Yeah. It'd
motivate
be
me.
fun to take photos with you.
Yeah.
Go on a
Yeah, we go
little
like a walk
adventure.
around. Yep. I miss doing that. Like I used to do that a lot, and it was just such a big part of my life, and I do miss that, and I hope someday to get back to it, especially now that like it's not, because there was like that before cell phones had cameras like they do. Everybody and their brother had a DSLR, right? So it was like
Yeah.
everywhere you went, everybody was like, "Oh," and I had already been actively taking photos for like way before that. And so it started getting really hard to take photos when I was out in public because there were always people without any etiquette just like stepping in front. Like, like I used to shoot at concerts and stuff for local bands, and there's some like really basic etiquette stuff that like if you are familiar, not to do, but that you get like these people who have no idea, who are just like, well, I have a camera. So, and they would just like push in front of everyone, use their flash,
Oh, that is so
blind the
rude.
band, and then like literally ruined everybody else's photos. And it's like, the band invited me to be there, and then I can't get in because there's this person that doesn't realize the etiquette or anything. And that's just not, it just doesn't happen that much anymore, because people use their phones. So,
Yeah.
so it's like I feel like it's a good time to get back out with my camera because I'm not going to have people in my way in the same way. Like at a concert, yeah, it would be like everybody has their phones out, but I feel like there's the respect for the big camera is there now because people don't have that. So it's gone back to looking legit, right? Like, oh, you have a big camera, you're a photographer, and then people make a little more space. So I'm like,
If you do that, I'll help you with the lighting. I'll move the stuff
awesome.
around. Tell
Yeah.
me how you want to set up.
Yeah.
If you want me to hold the
The
reflector.
reflector.
What is it called? The reflector? Yeah.
Yeah. The
Reflector.
reflector. Yeah. Yeah. It's always fun to have like an assistant because then they can carry the bag of lenses.
Yeah. That's what I would help my older brother back when he still had a digital SLR. I mean, he still kind of has one, but it's not to the degree it used to be because he got rid of the one that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the same setup I used to. Like all my stuff fits in a small bag. I used to have like I had a photography backpack, and it was like lots of stuff, but I loaned it all to somebody and they never brought it back. So I don't have any of that.
Uh,
Yeah. So I
dang
got
it.
other stuff, but it's not as nice.
Dang it. But
Yeah.
that stuff costs a lot of money.
Yeah. And I had saved up like my lenses were things that I had because they work with the newer bodies. So like I had saved up for them, and they weren't like the super fancy lenses. I have some friends that had those lenses, but they were like nice. And then I had like a really nice like flash setup and all that. And like the stuff I have now is okay, but honestly, like the photo quality on my camera is often better. Like it handles the lighting and stuff better. And so it's easier for me to just use my phone if I want to just get the lighting to look decent. Whereas on the camera, no matter what, if I do auto, it's really like even with the vivid turned on, it's like really like bland. So I can do
Oh
manual,
no.
but then I have to do the work to tweak it. And I'm like, okay, if I'm taking like a complex, like planned out photo, I expect to tweak it, but I should still be able to get like the base core of the image that I'm going for, and then just go in and tweak those little details. And I feel like I have to rebuild the photos like with this camera. In my previous camera, I never felt like that. Like I'd set the settings and it did what I expected and the photos were sharp and stuff. And this one, it just I don't know like what I'm doing wrong because I've been using cameras for a long time. I know what the settings should do, and it just so I don't know if it's just a difference in the sensor because every brand has their own personality and I just haven't gotten used to it and I need to learn how to work with it. Or if it's, me, did my brain change? I haven't figured out. I just need to use it more and that will help me like understand what's going on. I need motivation to get out and just use it. Cause that's, part of my deterrent is that I get frustrated with the quality of the photos when I'm very used to a specific quality being very easy for me. And for some reason, I'm just not getting it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It is nice having a macro lens for taking pictures of my jewelry though.
Ooh, yes.
So yeah, because the phones are terrible for that.
Yeah. At least the ones that I know are not so great.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like the frou Apple ones are probably better at it, but it's still not because they rely on digital zoom. So you get some, you can see that it's digital zoom. And that always, I know other people probably don't notice it, but it bothers me.
Yeah. There's also like the lenses that you can get that are external. I don't know how good those are. Some of them seem to be decent, but for the most part, like I've played with some of them, and I'm just like, okay, it's not it's not as good as I thought it was, and so I was disappointed.
Yeah,
I stopped using them.
I got like a set, and they're okay. Like they were fun, but it's not. I mean, you're still, the camera is still not that good to begin with. So the lenses give you a little bit of control, but it's not enough to, so I got, it was fun. I ended up selling the set to my friend because it was too much work to constantly be changing them out. I'd rather carry a camera and just get the quality photo, from the camera.
Have you ever tried playing around with like one of those I don't really know what the exact term is. I think it's called a photo ball. So it's like this like round and it's like crystal sphere, and then you can just take fun photos with it. I don't know if you ever tried that before.
No, I've never even heard of it. I used to have a couple of lenses that were like for fun, and they were, like one of them made everything look like the old timey lens, photos, and the place where it was what's that word in like where it was in focus was like really like narrow, so like the photos were really just interesting, and so I just ran around taking like really candid photos. Like I took pictures of my brother at like Home Depot and stuff like that, and they just have this quality to them. They're shitty because the lens is made from plastic, is not nice, but at the same time they were cool because they looked like, they look so like old timey and just weird, so there's so many like cool things out there I would love to play with. I got these little people. They're like yay big, and I haven't played with them yet, but my intent was I was going to take them with me places with my macro lens and take pictures of them just like in random places and stuff. And I might even like leave them there like when I'm done and just for fun. I don't know, just random. And then because I have my business cards for my business cards for my business. And I was thinking if I got like a series of good photos from those that I could use them on the business cards, because it's just kind of abstract and, and I use my photography on my cards now and they look really cool, but like, just to have, sort of series would be fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have to leave the house and do stuff. It's been so hard. This year has been, I was just starting to get out and do more before my health kind of went again. And it was like where I was at with the RV, I really like that area. So I was more motivated to get out. Like I feel safe, like going out and walking by myself And, now that I'm back here, it's not like if you go downtown, it's just like, it's gross. There's like poop on the sidewalks, and there's,
Oh
a
no.
lot of homeless people, which like, I am not going to be like, well, they shouldn't be there. My issue is how they behave towards other people, because they make it feel unsafe and stuff, where they're like yelling or following you around and asking for stuff and invading my space in a way that like isn't appropriate. Like, you just don't treat people that way,
Yeah.
and that makes me not feel comfortable going out and doing stuff. And I'm definitely not going to go by myself with like a nice camera into that kind of situation.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it's like, I feel like I need to have someone with me, or, like when I had my dog, having a 70-pound dog made me feel a lot safer when I went out places. Even though he was like, I'm way meaner than he ever was. Like, he's super sweet. I'm the biter, but yeah, like, people would see big dog and be like, oh, and like cross the street. So um, I was more likely to go by myself to do stuff then.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess I need to have like local people. And then when I'm feeling a little better, I start using my energy to get out and do stuff. That's what I'm really hoping next year. Next year will be, podcasting and getting out and doing
Yeah.
stuff and making my content, but just stuff, because this last year, like, everything like screeched to a halt. And it's been all I can do to keep up with podcasts. Like, it has sometimes that's like, that's it. That's like all I can manage. And because I just haven't been feeling that well. So I'm really hopeful. I hate that word, but that next year this stuff starts to settle so that I can get back to doing more like when I was in Hayward. Then I could go down to where you're at and I could follow you around and bug you.
I wouldn't consider it bugging, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I do occasionally see my friend who, he lives in San Jose, but he works in Palo Alto. So when I go down for my appointments, I'll be like, hey, like, let's get lunch or whatever. And it's like, that's nice. Like, it's just, as you get older, like, because he and I, when we used to work together, when I lived in San Jose, we were like attached to the hip and we would go do stuff after work. And there's just, at some point, as I get older, there's just no time for that kind of stuff. So it's like, you got to get it where you can fit it in. And so it's nice to just be like, oh, I get lunch every couple of months or whatever.
Oh,
You just gotta find a time.
Nice oh, sorry, what were you saying?
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just thinking it'd be nice to see you play around. I know it's an old school, camera, but I don't know how. I wonder if you would like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I
I just like doing stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I have a big ass bin of film, like developed film. There's there's a word. There's another word for that. Just
negatives?
Yes, thank you. That's the word. Negatives. It was there. I could see the shape of it, but I couldn't like.
Yeah, dig it, braid. Words are hard.
Yeah, exactly. The and from when my early days before I switched to digital, and it is on my list of things I would like to do while I could still make use of it, is to digitize all of that stuff. Thank you for listening. Join me next week for the continuation of this conversation. Want to support my creative chaos and get access to exclusive content? Check out my Patreon. Have a great week.